Good morning. I'm trying to do three things at once here. We'll fade that down. You're listening to WHAM Wairarapa, a show that tells you what's happening in the region each week. And I'm Hayley Gassmeyer, and thanks for tuning in. It's April the 6th, I believe. I've got a guest in the studio this morning. We've got Ian here. Good morning.
Good morning, Hayley. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Ian. Ian Chapman from King Street Art.
Yes, King Street Artworks. Yeah.
King Street Artworks, awesome. And I guess you're going to tell us exactly what happens in that building. I've been in there twice, and lots of it's a fun place to be.
It is a fun place to be. It's a DHB NGO, that's the technical term, and we're there for the mental health and well-being of the community. And so we have an open door policy, which means that anybody can come and access the service. It's a creative space, so there's visual arts primarily. We are looking at expanding into the creative writing and music therapy areas. That's something else that's happening in the next few months.
That's exciting.
But it's basically, we open 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday, 10 till 3 Mondays to Fridays, and Friday's Women's Only Day, and 10 till 2 on Saturdays. We open Saturdays because we want to encourage whānau families to come through and heal together. It's about, there's no cost to it, so people can come along and just bring their kids and create together. And kids love it because they don't get much opportunity at schools nowadays to play with art and clay or paints or whatever. They don't get that much chance. So to come along and just enjoy the place.
So can any family come along, or specific?
Any family. We don't judge. We don't ask for referrals from GPs or anything like that. If you want to get referrals, that's fine. It doesn't matter. We accept people on the face value as they come through the door. And the only label we give people is artist. So when they come through the door, they're an artist. That means they're equal to everybody else in the workshop, and they've got a purpose. I'm an artist. I'm going to create art today. That's my role. So it doesn't matter if you're homeless or you've got a 10,000-acre block down the back of Marston somewhere. You're equal, and that works well. And what I love about King Street is that we do have people from all walks of life with disabilities, intellectual disabilities, physical disabilities, or struggling financially or mental health issues, but immediately they're the same. And that destigmatizes those conditions. You know, I'm just working here as an artist today, and you get this kind of peer support happening and a bit of advocacy happening. You know, if you've got stress at home with the kids, there's nothing better than coming to a place without the kids and saying, bloody kids, you know. So it's just getting it off your chest, and you're going to go home feeling much better about yourself, and you've created something, and that's going to trickle down through the family and things like that. So it works really well.
Have you noticed differences in people from when they just might turn up for the first time, and then after they've been coming for a period?
Yeah, that happens. That's fantastic. It can take 2 days, it can take 2 years, but there's always a change. You know, we get people that are very staunch and they don't really want to be there, and the one thing that we do get is people that are supposedly supporting family members to access the service, and actually it's them that want to access the service, but they're using that as an excuse. And so that happens often. And you know, the changes in their attitude towards mental illness or mental well-being changes, their attitude to themselves changes, and the fact that they feel validated and a valued part of the community, and that can't help but be a good thing. So we were actually very fortunate in having a DHB, a local DHB, that recognises that model of early intervention and self-directed care. They support us really well, and they know that down the track it's saving them money because people aren't presenting at A&E or adult mental health with serious conditions. We are the ambulance at the top of the cliff, to use the cliche.
We've got Michael Wilson in the studio as well.
Yes, I'm here too. I've suddenly jumped into being beside you, Ian.
Hey, Michael.
I just think that what you're saying about destigmatising, you've done a fabulous job of that, because whenever I meet people who use that service, there's no suggestion of their mental health issue or their demographic or anything.
No.
As you say, they go there to be artists.
Yeah.
And in the community, it's become a respected, not only hub for artists, but producer of considerable artwork that's really worth public attention.
Yeah, I totally agree there. We have our annual show at Auditory, and that's always a great thing to visit. It's happening June 20th this year, and that's an opportunity for every artist to put work into a really professional environment. We have our own little gallery and we sell work through there, but there's something extra special about going into Auditory, and our artists on the opening night will always bring half a dozen family members to show off their work in Auditory. It's just really fantastic for us. And we obviously we participate in other exhibitions around the districts and around the country as well, so there's quite a few things that's happening there. But certainly that's the growth that you see in people that, when they first come through the door, I can't draw is the usual thing I can say. I can barely do a stick figure. But they invariably will find their mojo, so to speak, and they will just soar. And you suddenly think, wow, where did that come from? We know it's in them, but sometimes they don't, and it just comes out. It's tremendous to see that happening. Yeah, so the art is great. And we've got a fantastic arts precinct down there now with con art happening as well next to Auditory. So, King Street, con art, Tipa Tuki Tuki, and Auditory is just a really exciting creative hub, and it's driving some life in this area, this block of town, which was kind of waning a little bit.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, it's really the only precinct of any kind of definitive nature that we've got, and it really has a stamp of something exciting and vibrant about it.
Yeah.
I love going down to Con Art, for example.
Yeah, just walking past it with all the bright colours and things like that.
That's right, yeah.
We need to step up our game with our signage now at King Street because we're looking a little bit drab next to them, but we'll sort that out, that's all right.
Surely you've got the means to do that.
Well, there is.
Artistically.
We have the artistic means. It's just the space we haven't. We've only got we're looking at something on the roof because the wall space is kind of hidden in some ways. Yeah. But if we put something on the roof, that's going to really capture people's attention. So, but we don't know what that is going to look like. Yeah, there won't be Santa and some sleighs. Sleigh.
Hey, Hayley, back in the day, Ian used to present a program on behalf of King Street Artworks, and it was fabulous.
Yeah.
You'd have guests who were artists using the facility, coming in here, talking about their artwork and anything else that they were happy enough to share.
And what King Street means to them. And that's an important thing, because when you're looking at reporting to the ministry or to the DHB or whoever, they like outcomes. That's really important. And our outcomes are very nebulous. It's all about anecdotes. How does that person feel? And about coming to King Street, about themselves, about their mental health, and how's that improving. But that is a story. It's not about kind of actually, I'm taking less medication. They may say I'm taking less medication. That's fine. But we don't know what would happen to that person if King Street wasn't there.
No.
We can guess, but we don't know. So it is just very nebulous.
It was very similar to our operation. We're providing a service. We're asked to talk about outcomes. As you say, they're nebulous. But I think often that social outcomes, by their very nature, are nebulous, and the best you can do is say, we are enormously confident that this is an important thing for our community, and we'd be worried sick if it was under threat.
Absolutely, that's exactly what we say all the time to our funders. That the art's important at King Street. We know that, but the main thing for King Street is the connecting with community. You're looking at someone that could be quite isolated at home, and we've got an elderly population now that's growing exponentially, and they can become very isolated. They've got a place to come and be connected to a community, and feel connected, feel valued. That's so important. And so by doing that and doing the art, they're getting better, and it just works. We know it does. So
how many people turn up a day?
45 to 65.
Wow.
So it's a busy place. Yeah. Some days are a little bit less. Thursdays are usually a quiet day. Women's Day is a very popular day, and we often get the argument, why do we have Women's Day? And why don't we have a Men's Day? Well, we have tried having Men's Day, but men just don't turn up. So that's the problem with that one. But with women, the vital, some men will say, well, why do women have 6 days a week? And I say, well, actually, there's women that only have one day because that's the only day they feel comfortable turning up. And there are women that attend Women's Day that I've never met, and I've been there 21 years. So it's really important to keep that. And for whatever reasons they have, that's their own reasons, but it is important as a part of our kaupapa, and we're just not going to change that. It's very important indeed.
What's your background and how did you end up doing this?
I have no idea. Well, it was weird. 21 years ago, Vincents Art Workshop in Wellington. Yeah, they were asked by the DHB to investigate having a creator space in the Wairarapa. They are MSD funded, and at that time they were having a funding crisis, and they were looking at trying to get DHB funding in Wellington. The DHB there said, no, we haven't got any money for you, but could you have a look at Wairarapa? So they looked at that and started setting up. And I was at Polytech studying art at the time, and one of the other artists there, Megan Campbell, she is a mental health nurse, and she said, have you heard about Vincent's, and go along to this meeting. And I kind of went along and joined their establishment committee and kind of never looked back. I started as a tutor and the studio manager and now coordinator. I'm an artist myself. I paint and illustrate. I do a little bit of writing, not a lot, but I do. But painting is my thing. I've been doing it since I was 16, probably less than that, younger than that actually. And so now I'm starting to get somewhere. I'm actually starting to sell some work. So it's kind of overnight success 33 years later.
I guess you're around the place. I've been seeing your work all over the show.
Yeah, that's right. I found my niche now with these robot paintings.
This sort of robot. They're nifty. I love them.
Yeah. So there's that, and there's what I call the serious work, which is the kind of pop surrealist painting, which is oil and aluminium usually, and that's taking contemporary and not so contemporary images like someone like Marilyn Monroe and putting her into strange situations, which sounds a bit perverse, but isn't, I hope. So yeah, that's the serious stuff, and I kind of I just like the feel of the 50s and the 60s and the toys and the kind of art of that time, and kind of combine it with today's imagery as well. So,
you're very lucky to have found a job that supports your passion.
Yeah, I kind of wake up every morning and think, how did I get here? Because it's exactly that, you know. And I'm the coordinator now, so that means that I am in the office a lot. I do a lot of the fundraising and the political stuff, which it's okay, and it pays the bills. But it's not what I really enjoy, which is being with the people. So Thursdays are the time I'm on the floor with the artists and teaching there, and I absolutely adore it. It's so much fun, you know, and you get so much back. You know, every day you're learning as much as the people that you're teaching, so I love it.
Are you creating alongside them?
Yeah.
And
not as much as I used to. I just don't have the time to do that. We are so busy now that we don't really get much time to do that. But we do encourage the staff to create alongside people, because that's about modelling behaviour, showing techniques. And, you know, very often we just do something and then it's kind of flicked away, somebody else takes it away and things like that. But that's the point, is that we teach by modelling behaviour. Yeah.
Do your other staff all have artistic backgrounds? Or
Yeah. Linda Tilliard is a studio manager, and she is a painter, portrait painter, and she does everything really, surrealist as well. And she's done a couple of books. She's a fantastic teacher, and she, like every staff member at King Street, we do have our kind of focuses where, you know, or main interests. Like Linda will be a painter and illustrator, but she will do pottery. We have Leanne Taylor, who's a potter, and Meg Waddington, who's a potter, and so we have a pottery tutor each day. We have Jenny Cattini Morgan, who's our Maori Arts and Craft tutor. So we focus. We have a strong focus on tikanga Maori and Maori work and toi. I forgot the word now. Maori art has gone completely out of my head. I know the Maori term for it has gone. And Harry Watson, who is woodcarver, painter, printmaker. We have to just do everything. That's the thing there. So every artist, every tutor at King Street is a practicing artist, and we have exhibited around the country and sometimes around the world. So I'm very proud of our team. They're extremely good.
How far has the art gone, distance-wise?
Me personally, or King Street?
King Street, yeah.
King Street is England. I think is the furthest. Well, it's as far as you can go, really, isn't it? So yeah, no, England and America stuff's been whisked away. Yeah, and it's a bit of a thrill when we have work that goes overseas. One of our artists did a drawing of Prince Harry before he was born, and we sent it to Buckingham Palace, and it was a good drawing. Strange, he looked like a bit of a vampire, this baby, but they accepted the picture and sent us a lovely letter back thanking Catherine for the work she did.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the kind of thing that happens, and it's quirky and funny, but
it is.
Yeah, people just love it. Yeah.
What about the teachers? Do they have mental health backgrounds? Working specialising in that avenue?
We have training in mental health, usually
Okay.
as support workers, to a level of support workers usually, but we're not clinicians. So and that's a strong part of King Street. We don't want people to feel that they've got to come in and tell their story, and that they feel that they have to fall under the funding criteria, because that's not what we're about. We've been doing the job for such a long time that we know it quite well. We know mental health really well, but again, it's not the focus.
Does the DHB gauge who's coming through the door to ensure that they're paying for what they have allocated?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. We have to do a lot of reporting now, and that's just an NGO thing. There's a lot of NGOs, you have to do a lot of reporting, and they can pull out whatever information they want from that reporting. We have insisted with the DHB since day one that open door policy stays place. It's our core philosophy, because we are that model of intervention. We don't want to have people, the top end of people, the top 8% that are critically unwell, because they're just not going to come to King Street. They're just not in that state of mind to actually be able to function at King Street. So we're looking at that early intervention and the mid-recovery range of people. And sometimes people that are in that range will slip into the extreme range, and we have extremely good connections, networks now with adult mental health or CAMS or whichever agency in there. So we can get on the phone to those people and say, look, so-and-so is becoming unwell. Can you get down here and have a chat to them? And they will be at King Street sometimes faster than the ambulance. They're very, very good in that respect. So we've got a reputation now with mental health services that we're not just a creative space. We build up long-term relationships with people. It's not like a 15-minute consult at King Street that you'd get at a GP service or wherever. We're seeing people day in, day out, and their mental health goes up and down, and we can see when they're going down, and we can help, and we get there really quickly. That means that their recovery is going to be quicker, that they're not going to necessarily have to present at A&E or adult mental health. They recover quickly.
Or they feel supported as well, I guess, which is a big,
supported
thing.
and cared about, and they can choose to tell us that story if they want to or not, So that's what works.
Awesome. Got anything to add, Michael?
I thought I knew what it was you did, but it's great to hear it in that kind of detail. So I'm grateful to know that they're down the road there doing fabulous work.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't sound like you've got any room for anyone else.
Well, we will squeeze them in. Yeah, it's amazing really that it comes and goes. And so if we do get busy, people will say, actually, I'll come back in the afternoon, and that sort of stuff. So, but that's rare. We will always, we've never had to turn anybody away, and we've always squeezed them in. So sometimes has meant that we've put up trestle tables in the gallery so people can spread out there. But it is, it can be busy, but we police it quite well. And what everybody, without doubt, will say as they come through the door, that it's such a peaceful and calm place to be. But what we don't want is that frenetic energy, because that doesn't impact well on mental health. So we work very hard to keep it a very calm and quiet and productive place for people to come and just be creative.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ian, for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Ian Chapman from King Street Artworks. Awesome. Let's play a song. Here we go.
Once in a while, and taking your time, give it
Fading the tunes down. But before I get rid of it completely, you're listening to Dub and Diesel. And this track is called Power and the Passion, which I thought was quite fitting after talking with Ian Chapman from King Street Artworks. Power and the Passion featuring Katie Nonan, gorgeous voice. Pulling that down now because we've got heaps and heaps of events to get through. All right, we're looking at 8:26 in the morning. It's Friday. You're listening to WHAM Wairarapa. What's happening around the region? Well, I'll tell you. Eggs. Easter at Pukaha Mount Bruce. This is this was sort of in place for Easter, but it looks like it's running up until the 30th of April. Easter is here, and it wouldn't be Easter without an Easter egg hunt. Yes, over the long Easter weekend. Yep, you can visit. Yep. That's too late. However, nationally, it's also time to celebrate the Fio Blue Duck. April is Fio. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It's WHIO. So it's Fio Awareness Month, or Blue Duck Awareness Month. New Zealand's $10 note features the Fio, which shows just how special it is to us. Oh, wow, okay. All month you can play the Fluky Fio game. So for a gold coin donation, you can choose a floating Fio out of the duck pond, and the colour on the bottom of it earns you a prize. If you are lucky, you could be one of the ones to win the Fluky Fio. So if you pull this Fio out of the pond, you will win a family pass to come and visit Pukaha. Oh, that's pretty cool. So I guess Pukaha is always a neat place to visit and to take your family along to, or your visitors along to. So I think it's open every day. I don't know about that, but you could just Google it, Pukaha Mount Bruce. Okay, so the Sunset Cinema, they are showing a film. It's easier if I just read it straight from the page because I don't really know what I'm talking about unless I can either be scanning through it with my eyes, trying to find out what it is, or just reading it straight out and you can find out with me. All right, while it begins in a burst of lyrical exuberance, the school children frolicking in surf, this knockout first feature film for Dennis Gams Ergevin builds increasing tension, climating in an edge of seat finale. Okay, I think this is a movie called Mustang. It's a tale of 5 orphan sisters growing in sexual consciousness and their guardian uncle and grandmother's increasing attempts to lock down this adolescent force. In their coastal Turkish town, watchful neighbours defame the spirited girl's purity. It's a world where parents still bang on newlyweds' doors demanding blood on the sheets. Oh, God. Okay, so this is a Sunset Cinema event. I think the show's called Mustang. It's at the Carterton Event Centre today, 7:30 p.m. And it's for a 3-month membership ticket it's $30, and for a season pass it's $80. So call up the Carterton Event Centre and find out about the Sunset Cinema sort of seasonal passes, or just maybe the one-off price to head along to the film if you're keen to see it. Again, it's tonight at 7:30 p.m. The Veranda Band, they are happening at Club Wairarapa tonight from 7:30. It's a rock, country, folk group with a wide range of music stretching back as far as the 50s. Club Wairarapa, that's on Essex Street in Masterton. Members, affiliated members and their guests are welcome. As usual, there's a pub quiz. That's at the Empire Hotel every Monday night from 7 p.m. Now, the Empire Hotel, that's in Johnston Street, Featherston. It starts at 7 on a Monday, finishes by 9:30. It's brought to you by Believe It or Not. While a team of 4 to 6 is ideal, a team of 2 works just fine. And register on the night with the friendly bar staff, or get them a call on, have you got your pen and paper ready? 06 308 9540. loads of prizes to be won as well, apparently. So, quiz night, Empire Hotel, Johnston Street, Featherston, Monday nights at 7 p.m. This is a fun event happening at Ventana Creative Collective tonight, $60 though, and you have to book your spot. It's Paint a Masterpiece Sip by Sip. So I've gone along and I've done this. It's really cool. I can't remember who the artist was that I painted, but each week, I think this workshop is on today's Friday. It might be the first Friday of the month. So you drink local wines, and they have a piece of art. Could be Frida Kahlo, could be a Monet, could be anything. It's a masterpiece, however, and everyone paints the same image, and it's really cool to see how they all turn out at the end. And when you see them all together, it's fantastic. So again, $60 is at Ventana Creative Collective, Kitchener Street in Martinborough. It's tonight, 7 p.m. Unless you're an artist while enjoying local wines and painting your own version of a famous masterpiece. I don't know who the tutor is, it doesn't say, but dessert is included as well. So if you're keen to head along and find out if they've got a spot for you, or if you want to just find out, booking for the next round, the number to call is 06 306 9488. That's 306 9488. And it's 27 minutes to 9. The French Country Fair is happening tomorrow at Te Herenikau Racecourse. Kicks off at 10 a.m. It's also on Sunday, kicking off at 10 a.m. too. So all over the weekend, head to the racecourse. They're hosting the Fresh Country Fair from 10 until 4. Relax under the beautiful trees, listen to jazz on the veranda, buy a baguette filled with cheese and salami, or stop in at the indoor cafe where you can have a freshly made croissant baked on a site while enjoying the piano accordion playing. Stroll along the exquisite stalls that weave in and out of the buildings and amongst the trees. Spend time looking for forgotten treasures at the big vintage shop. So it's all French. Oh, it's not all French, but it is all fun. That's what they say. So there's food and music, craft stalls and art, vintage horse and cart rides, kids entertainment, craft stalls, Café de Paris. That's the cafe. Vintage shops, French musicians, jazz under the big chestnut trees, and apparently it's $8.61. Not sure about that price, but that's what they say. So it looks like there might be an entry charge. All right, the Gladstone Vineyard Vintage Tours, that's happening tomorrow, and the following Saturday, the 14th. This is a Saturday event. It's a tour, a platter lunch, and a glass of wine for $40. Come and see the action with a Gladstone Vineyard Vintage Tour. It's a special time of year. See what happens behind the scenes and how your wines are made. Roll up your sleeves, plunge the pinots, taste the fermenting grapes, and meet the crew behind the wines. Finish with one of our platted lunches and a glass of wine in the wine garden. This sounds really cool. So this is the Gladstone Vineyard Vintage Tours. Kicking off at 11 a.m. tomorrow, $40, and give them a call if you want to book your spot. Sounds really neat. I know I mentioned it last time that we had the show, the week before last, because last week was Easter. We discussed how the show would be broadcast on Wairarapa television. I believe the camera that's in my face now is on. It's a little bit weird thinking that people can see me. However, I hope I'm doing an okay job. I'm not sure if I'm positioned correctly, and I don't know if I should be looking into the camera or not. But I've got a computer screen just down there, which I'm reading from. So if I'm not looking at you, I'm not being rude. Okay, Bill Manhire at Wairarapa Word. So Bill Manhire is, does he need an introduction? He's a widely recognised writer. He was New Zealand's inaugural poet laureate in 1997, and has authored and edited many books of poetry and fiction. He's also founded the International Institute of Modern Letters at Victoria University. So he is going to be at the Carterton Community Courthouse on Sunday from 3 until 4:30. Be ready for an afternoon of memory and morality, art and beauty, humour and joy. Bill Manhire will read from his latest book, Some Things to Place in a Coffin, 2017, titled from his eulogy for Ralph Hortier, and Known Unto God, commissioned by the Imperial War Museum, London. It's open to all, and there's koha on the door. This is Bill Manhire at Wairarapa Word. He'll be reading his own work at the Carterton Community Courthouse on Sunday from 3 until 4:30. This sounds like a great event and not to be missed. All right, Farming for the Future. This is a Carterton event happening on Tuesday, the 10th of April. That's next week from 9 until 4:30. It looks like it's $25 or so on the door for a student admission, $42 for general admission. Join us for the 5th annual Farming for the Future seminar. It's a one-day seminar held in Wairarapa, hosted by the South Wairarapa Biodiversity Group and the Mangaterere Restoration Society. Since 2014, we've been helping farmers, businesses and organisations improve their knowledge and understanding of the natural environment, reduce their environmental footprint and achieve more sustainable outcomes. Sustainable agriculture and economic gains can occur at the same time. Farming for the Future seminar brings farmers, farm advisors, industry specialists, students and environmental and agribusiness consultants together to share ideas and inspiration. All right, so this is happening Tuesday, 9am till 4:30 at the Carterton Event Centre on Holloway Street. It does cost to attend in between $20 and $40-something. They've got very odd prices on this event. $41.46 is what they say. To get a ticket, 0800 buy Tix is who to call, so that's 0800 289 849, and that's a number for Event Finder, I believe. Farming for the Future. Head to their website www.farmingforthefuture.org.nz if you want more information. All right, now what does this stand for? SGCNZ, Wairarapa Regional UOSWSF 2008. This is Trust House Theatre at Rathkeale College on Tuesday the 10th of April at 7pm. Come and enjoy an innovative fresh take on Shakespeare performed by students from around the Wairarapa region. There we go. For the 27th year, students will perform 5 and 15-minute scenes from the Bard's play at the SGCNZ University of Otago Sheila Wynne Shakespeare Festival 2018. All right, we're getting there. You might see anything from a steampunk Romeo and Juliet brawl scene, a Te Reo Hamlet, to a classic Elizabethan, the comedy of errors hilarity. Come and watch old favourites with a new twist or scene from lesser-known plays dusted off and brought to daylight. Door sales only. For inquiries, you can call 04 384 1300. So that's 384 1300, and that's 04 before that. It's the area code. Or here's a cell phone number. Write this down: 027 283 6016. $6 for adults on the door, students $3 on the door. So head along for the Trust House Theatre performance. It's at Rathkeale College on Tuesday at 7pm, and it's students from around Wairarapa performing little scenes, innovative, fresh takes on Shakespeare plays. Sounds fantastic. All right, Tired, Stressed and All the Rest. This is also says it's Trust House Theatre. Don't quite know what that is, but it's at Rathkeale College. Imagine waking up, feeling refreshed, positive and moving through your day with energy and clarity, experiencing your body in full health. Okay, so maybe this isn't. It does say it's at Rathkill on Wednesday from 7 p.m. So Ben Warren is passionate about supporting you to achieve, being the best you can be. He's an experienced clinician nutritionist. His latest seminar, Tired, Stress and All the Rest, is here to support you in understanding your unique body and why what works for you when it comes to diet and lifestyle is personal, and how to unlock your energy to live the life you really want. So what you'll learn over this 2.5-hour seminar, Ben will share how tiredness and stress impacts your body, weight, hormones and energy, why following fads, trends and what your friends are doing may not be the best approach, and how to find your personal blueprint for what to eat, drink, and how to move and how the nutritional support, what nutritional support would be best for you. You'll also take home the fundamentals of diet, lifestyle and nutrition. Gosh, I think I'm really ballsing reading this up, aren't I? Anyhow, it's $39 and a double pass is $59. It's on Wednesday night at Rathkill College from 7 p.m. until 9:30. It's Ben Warren talking about how to basically live the best life that you can. Talking about nutrition, de-stressing, what else? Health and energy, exercise. Now, if you want to get a ticket, this is the number to call: 0800 873 787. One more time, 0800 873 787. All right, life drawing is happening at Ventana in Martinborough next Wednesday from 7 until 9. Life drawing class is $50. Learn to draw the human form and develop your inner artist while enjoying local beer and good company. I've also been to one of these workshops. It's really cool. You have a life model, very bravely bearing all, and you sort of do like 5-second sketches, 30-second sketches, 5-minute sketches, 15-minute sketches. You move on to the half-hour sketch, and it's really cool. It's a cool experience. You get to drink beer. The tutor is Kate Kai, who will go over the life drawing techniques used for centuries to describe the human form on paper. So nibbles are included. It's the second Wednesday of every month. If you want to head along, you need to book a spot. Call Ventana Creative Collective on 06 306 9488. And that's life drawing on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. in Martinborough. Auditory Artists Auction. This is happening at the Wairarapa Museum of Art and History, Auditory, on Bruce Street. Kicks off next Friday, the 13th of April, so we're a week ahead. They're hosting... it's an auction to fundraise for the public installation... to fundraise for the public institution and to showcase its exhibiting artists. The works of art from about $100 to over $100,000 will be available to view from April 7th. Okay, so that's today, and they'll be able to be purchased on the night. So I think that's next Friday, so it's 5:30 until 9:30 p.m. Waratah's gourmet platters will be served by friends of Auditory, and participating artists include Robin White, Millen Murkish, Elizabeth Thompson, John Puel, Ants Wenstra, Virginia King, Neil Dawson, Gavin Chilcott, Gregory O'Brien, Crystal Chain Gang, Gina Jones, Paul Martinson, Kate Small, Anike Boren, Rebecca Farr and Stephen Elwood. So Auditory Artist Auction, 13th of April, viewing from 5:30 p.m. and then the exhibition viewing runs from today until next Thursday, so from 10 until 4:30. There'll be a special preview on the 8th of April. That's on Sunday at 6 p.m. Tickets to the auction are $35 and it's limited to 200, so get in quick. The auction catalogue free with the auction catalogue free is free with the if you purchase a ticket. God. And otherwise, it's $20 at Auditory. I think if you want to know more about this, head to Auditory. Sorry. All right, Opportunity, because you asked for it. This is happening next Friday. This is a heads up at the Carterton Event Centre. After months of voting for our audience all across New Zealand, Opportunity are pleased to announce that, as requested by you, the show will include numerous musical theatre hits, including Don't Cry For Me Argentina, Evita, Memory, Cats, the Music of the Night, The Phantom of the Opera, Bring 'Em Home, Les Miserables, jeez, classic hits from the Swedish pop group ABBA, and there'll be much more. So I guess they've sort of done a mishmash of things that people have voted for. I'm not sure. Anyhow, it's next Friday at the Carterton Event Centre. Go on to Google Opportunity if you want to know more, or you can call to book a spot 0508 266 237. All right, it's 8:47. I've got to get to work. We've got the Featherston markets happening down there from 8 until 2 tomorrow. The Wairarapa farmers markets are happening up in Masterton outside the farriers tomorrow from 9 until 1. Then on Sunday, the Carterton farmers markets is all go at Memorial Square. That runs from 9 until just before 1ish. And then there's the car boot sale, of course, in Masterton on the corner of Chapman and Essex Street on Sunday morning. I didn't bring my newspaper, so I can't tell you what the weather is, although I could Google it. But I really should skedaddle. Look, you've been listening to WHAM Wairarapa. I'm Hayley Gastamara. I turn up to the Arrow FM studio on Fridays at 8 a.m. and I go on air on it. We're broadcast live. We have a podcast. And I think we might even be, I don't know if we're being broadcast live right now on Wairarapa Television, but I think this will be played on Wairarapa Television. I'll find out when. I'm not sure when, but we'll find that out. So it's 8:48. It's Friday, the 6th of April. It is looking to be a fabulous day outside. I hope everyone has a safe weekend, and we'll be back again next Friday from 8 a.m. Make sure you go and like the Facebook page, WHAM Wairarapa, and feel free to give me feedback on how I can improve the show, but mainly just let me know about your events, because that's what I'm here for, is to let you know what's going on. So if you know of something that's really cool that's happening in the region, or if you know of a really cool person that would be worthwhile coming on the show and having a chat about what they do, or an event that's going on, then yes, please get in touch with me. WHAM Wairarapa, send me a message. Awesome. I'm going to fade up the radio now. This song's called Pay Me. All right, ka kite. Integrity 100. I stay true to my word, moving mountains while everybody else got paid. I showed up.